Of course, we have Case Keenum. We have nothing to worry about. It's just Green Bay. Hey guys, what's up? JDoZ back again. And yes, the Vikings play Green Bay Sunday afternoon, and let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers, talent-wise, I think could possibly be the best quarterback ever. The speed, the ability to throw on the run, it's incredible. Minnesota will probably be having Case Keenum. Jarek McKinnon will probably be the #1 back. As I said in my simulation, I had him in there. So we'll start off. Let's look at the injuries. So starting off with Green Bay. David Backapan, their stud tackle, their left tackle, hamstring injury, limited participation. He might be the biggest player for them to be out, because if he's out, Everson Griffin should be wild. Linebacker Ahmad Brooks back, did not participate both days. Ryan Bogala, another tackle, ankle injury, limited participation Wednesday and Thursday. Morgan Bennett, their good safety, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. Devin House, one of their cornerbacks, quadricep injury, limited participation Wednesday and Thursday. Kevin King, one of their starting corners, concussion, did not participate Wednesday, Thursday. I'd expect him to be out. Ty Montgomery with his ribs injury, he had full participation Wednesday and Thursday. He'll be in. Jordy Nelson, back injury, full participation Wednesday and Thursday. I don't even know why he's on the list. Nick Perry, linebacker, hand injury, full participation. And Joe Thomas, not the stud offensive tackle, but their linebacker, ankle injury, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. Biggest news out of their list is obviously their offensive tackle. If we can get on backups with Everson Griffin, expect him to have himself a day. And even if he doesn't exactly have a 2 or 3 sack day, they'll probably force the Packers to keep Michael Bennett in the game as a pass blocker, not a pass receiver. He's one of the Packers that really scares me on their offensive side of the ball. Injury report for the Vikings is about as long, just a little bit longer. Starting off, Sam Bradford, knee injury, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. He might as well be out already. I don't think he'll play. Stephon Diggs, another big injury, a groin injury, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. Kind of flip of the coin for me. My money is he'll just be in a limited role, and he'll start, but I expect him to be only really on the field on 3rd and longs, which means we should have a big day for Michael Floyd. Nick Easton, calf injury, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. We want him to be in, but he's a good piece to our starting left, our starting offensive line. Pat Elflein, a toe injury, limited participation Wednesday, but had full participation on Thursday. Rashad Hill, knee injury, he had full participation on Thursday. Tom Johnson, knee injury, did not participate on Wednesday, but he had a limited participation on Thursday. Expect him to play. Even if he doesn't play, I really like Jaleel Johnson. Either way, it's not a big drop-off. Jaron Kearse, groin injury, he had full participation. Eric Kendricks, shoulder injury, limited participation, he'll play. Andrew Sendejo, another groin injury, did not participate Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe in a big question mark there. A lot of fans aren't really high on Andrew Sendejo, but I'm not one of them. I think he's been fantastic this year, and I'd rather him play instead of Jaron Kearse. No disrespect to Jaron Kearse, but I think Andrew Sendejo is a very good safety. And if he's not in, that's not very good for us, especially against Aaron Rodgers. And Shamar Stephen was on here too with a back injury, but he had full participation as well. Of course, Sam Bradford's the biggest part. I expect him to be out for at least 2 weeks, as he looked so bad last week. Stephon Diggs is another really big one, and we really want him to play. So as far as the Vikings go, I expect Stephon Diggs to at the very least be in a limited role, which means a big day for Michael Floyd and hopefully Laquan Treadwell. And if he is ruled out, I'll look for the Vikings to activate either Stacy Coley or Rodney Adams. Whoever they activate will be a good sign of who they're higher on and who we should expect more out of. And judging off of who plays better in the offseason, it'd probably be Stacy Coley if I had to put my money on it as of right now. But who knows? They see them practice every day, so whatever they go with, I'd be fine with. But hopefully, cross our fingers, Stephon Diggs is playing Sunday. And let's start looking, and let's look at the rankings for each of these players' stats. Offensively for the Vikings, we're at a 19.8 points a game. That's 20th in the league, so below average. Pretty bad. We do get 357 yards a game, which is 9th. 238 pass yards a game, and 118.2 rush yards a game. So we are good as far as moving the ball. We aren't good as going to score a touchdown. What else is new when you get the ball in the end zone, especially against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers? Defensively, 8th overall ranked defense, which we would think is a little bit high. 18.6 points a game, 309.2 pass yards a game, which is 7th. 229, or that's total yards, 229.2 pass yards, which is 20th. 80 rush yards a game, which is only 7th, but I think that'd be higher. So, what we expect? A fairly bad offense and a really good, somewhat disappointing as some stats would say, but we know they're really good defense. Now let's go to Green Bay. And their offense is 7th in the league at 27.4 points a game, 336 total yards, which is 16th. 11th in total pass yards, only 245, and 91.6 rush yards, which is 22nd. So they, on the other hand, don't move the ball about as much as the Vikings, but they score touchdowns. So if the Vikings could learn how to do that a bit more, that'd be great. Defensively, 22.4 points a game, which is 20th in the league. 321.2 total yards, which is 11th. 199.8 pass yards a game, which is surprising. That is 6th in the league. They have very young corners, and you'd expect that to be a weakness, but it's not a big problem for them. 121.4 rush yards a game, which is 22nd. They are very poor in stopping the run, which, Jarek McKinnon, have yourself a day because you'll need it. That's my prediction starting off here. Let's look at a few specific players as far as their stats go for the Packers in a sec, but I think what we'll have to do game plan wise offensively, we need our running backs to do good. If Latavius Murray's ever going to have himself a good game, it's going to have to come really soon. If we need to have over, I'd say 150 rush yards this game total, that can be a combination of Keenum, McKinnon, and hopefully more Latavius Murray, maybe a few jet sweeps every now and again, maybe a fake punt. It might come down to that once again. Let's look at individual player stats. We'll stick with Green Bay and then we'll go to Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers on the year, 189 attempts for 126 completions, 1367 yards, 66.7 completion rating. Aaron Rodgers numbers, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Very good year. He has been sacked 19 times on the year. Their offensive line's been doing a pretty decent job. Ty Montgomery rushing the ball, 48 attempts for 152 yards. That's only a 3.3 average. Nothing like what he was last year. And hopefully the Vikings can follow through those numbers. His long in the year is only 11. He hasn't shown any explosiveness really, and only 2 touchdowns. Their next guy is Aaron Jones, 32 attempts for 174 yards. He has 5.4 yards per attempt, and his long is 22. So maybe he'll be in the mix a little bit more than Ty Montgomery. As Ty Montgomery is more of a scat back, as he was, of course, usually primarily before a wide receiver. Receiving is fairly interesting. Their leading receiver is Devontae Adams with 23 receptions for 285 yards. His long is 41 and has 4 touchdowns. Randall Cobb has 23 receptions for 218 yards, and his long is 29 and has 1 touchdown. Martellus Bennett, 20 receptions, 194 yards, not a touchdown yet. Jordy Nelson, 19 receptions, 230 yards, and has 6 touchdowns. He is their red zone threat, and they love Jordy Nelson. And Jordy Nelson always somehow kills the Vikings, and that's who I think Xavier Rhodes is going to be matched on. Xavier Rhodes, Jordy Nelson, have a ball game. That'll be a fun one to watch. Jordy Nelson is, of course, not the most talented receiver in the league, but he's one of the best, if not the best, route runner, and he's very, very good. Kind of a little better version of Adam Thielen, if I would say, to give you guys a comparison. Randall Cobb is one of those sneaky receivers, aren't very big, but very fast and explosive, kind of like Percy Harvin, but he doesn't really get hurt. He stays on the field a whole lot, and he's one of their better receivers. A big mismatch, really. They have 3 really solid receivers, and it's going to be tough for us to cover. We have Xavier Rhodes. Beyond that, not a whole lot. And they get matchups like one-on-ones on Anderson Deo, Trey Waynes. It'll be a long day for our secondary. So those are the most notable offensive players for the Green Bay. For defense, Blake Martinez is leading the way with 37 tackles. Behind them is Hogg Dix at 26. Josh Jones at 23. They don't have a big sack numbers yet. Mike Daniels had 1.5. Nick Perry has 2.5. Josh Jones has 2 sacks. They have a few sacks across the board, but we should have decent time in the pocket, and if that can happen, that'll give our offense time to explode, and hopefully we can take advantage of a weak Packers secondary on paper, but statistically for a team, they've done very good at stopping the pass. So I'll be interested to see what the Vikings' plan of attack is. I think it'll be run the ball first to open up the pass, and hopefully Case Keenum can have his A game. So passing for the Vikings, on the other hand, let's look at Case Keenum. He has had 121 pass attempts. He has completed 78 of those for 64.5 completion rating, which isn't too bad. He's thrown 4 touchdowns on the year, no interceptions. Of course, he hasn't played about a game and a half with Sam Bradford playing. Rushing statistics, Dalvin Cook still leading, but let's look at Jerick McKinnon, who has 26 attempts for 121 yards, a 4.7 average. We'll take it because a lot of that was buffed the last week. Latavius Murray's second with 26 attempts for only 69 yards. He's only at 2.7 yards a carry, and he's supposed to be the man this year, and he's been god awful. So hopefully he can get going. And Case Keenum is next in the list. Receiving, Adam Thielen's leading the way now, has 29 receptions for 392 yards. Been an animal, his longest 45. He hasn't caught a touchdown yet. Stephon Diggs, 23 receptions for 395 yards, just behind Thielen, or just above Thielen as far as yards go by 3 yards. And he has 4 touchdowns on the year. Again, I'm not sure what to expect out of Diggs this game. Kyle Rudolph, 16 receptions for 154 yards, then not much after that. Defensively for the Vikings, you guys know what the studs are. Leading the way, you guys would never guess who was our leading tackler. Trey Waynes! Oh, who would have guessed? You give up enough completions, you're gonna get those tackles, right? He's padding those stats. That's what he's been doing this whole year. You know he's the best cornerback in the league. He's whoever. So we know who our studs are defensively. It's gonna come down to our pass rush really to get Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable. If Xavier Rhodes can completely shut out Jordy Nelson, that'd be great. But shut out Devontae Adams and Bennett. They also have Cobb. So many weapons. So let's get to this final verdict, because I don't like it. Alright, so the Vikings are at home, so that's the only real edge, but the Packers are healthier than us, and they have Aaron Rodgers, right? That's going to give them the lead as far as the stat sheet would go, and what experts would probably say. Since we're at home, I don't see it'll be a big loss, but I think Packers win. Let's call it 35-21. Let's give the Vikings 2 touchdowns on it. Let's say maybe we get a little garbage time in there or something. 35-27, 8-point game. Not too bad at home. They can prove me wrong. I've been wrong every single time I've picked the Vikings to lose. Keep the streak up, please. Prove me wrong, Minnesota. Prove me wrong. We'll see you guys next time.